Question number 1. Mr. and Mrs. Martinez want to go to the movies. Mrs. Martinez gets home from work at 5:15 p.m. and Mr. Martinez gets home at 6 p.m. Mr. Martinez has to walk their dog for 30 minutes before they leave. They live 20 minutes away from the theater. The table below shows a movie start and end times. Which is the earliest show Mr. and Mrs. Martinez could attend and still keep their after work schedule? And on this one, what we're trying to find out is the earliest movie that they could go see and still do everything that they normally do after work. And there's some information there that's not important. The time that Miss Martinez gets home from work. Okay, that's not important because Mr. Martinez gets home from work after she does, so they cannot leave until he gets home, obviously. And then also Mr. Martinez has an after-work schedule where he walks the dog for 30 minutes, and they live 20 minutes away. So basically, I would make a T-chart for this to see what the earliest time they could leave or make it to the movies. And what I would do is go ahead and add the amount of time that he walks the dog, and then how far they live away. And it takes 30 minutes to walk the dog, and they live 20 minutes away, so that's a total of 50 minutes. Make a real quick little T-chart right here. So that's 50 minutes, and 6 o'clock is when they leave, or when he gets home from work. So, and that's a pretty simple one. Basically, you would just add 50 minutes to 6, so 6:50. 6:50 is the earliest they could make it to the movies. Take 50 right there. 6:50 is the earliest they can make it to the movies, so they could not make it to showing number 1, but they could make it to showing number 2. That's the earliest one they could go to. And so that'd be answer choice B. Question number 2. Okay, Sylvia bought 4 5/10 kilograms of red apples, some yellow apples, and 3 kilograms of green apples. If Sylvia bought a total of 8,750 grams of apples, what is the mass in kilograms of the yellow apples she bought? So this is what we're trying to find out. What is the mass in kilograms of the yellow apples? Okay, it's important, and this is a subtraction problem. There's 4 5/10 kilograms of red apples, 3 kilograms of green apples, and we're going to subtract that from the 8,750 grams of total apples. First thing we need to do is we need to convert the total amount to kilograms, and that's an easy conversion. It's a division. Well, I'll write it out real quick. So that's 8,750 grams equals blank kilograms. So the math chart says that 1,000 grams equals 1 kilogram. This is small and that's big. Small to big, we divide. Okay, and whenever we're dividing by 1,000, all we have to do is move the decimal place at however many zeros there are, how many place values there are. So that's 3 place values. 1, 2, 3. So our 8,750 is going to end up being 8 and basically 8 7/75 kilograms. We don't have to put the 0 there because the zeros, it's when we're holding a place value in the tenths, it's not important. So the total amount of apples is 8 7/75 kilograms. So what we want to do is subtract the red apples and yellow apples. We'll go ahead and instead of doing 2 subtraction problems, I'm going to do an addition problem. I'm going to add the red apples and the green apples together. So that's 4 5/10 and 3/10. And that ends up being 7 5/10 kilograms. And that's how many red apples and green apples there are. So if we subtract that from the total amount of apples, that's going to tell us what the yellow apples are. So I already have my 7 5/10 kilograms. Well, actually, I'm going to go over here. So the total is 8 75/100. I'm going to subtract the 7 5/10, making sure I keep my place values lined up there. I go ahead, take 0 from 5, that's 5. 5 from 7 is 2. Bring down my decimal. And 7 from 8 is 1. So that means the yellow apples are going to be 1 25/100 kilograms. And this is what I've seen a lot of people do. I've seen a lot of people write it out like this. And when they subtracted, instead of putting the decimal there, they put a comma. And they picked answer choice F. It's not answer choice F. It's not. That's more than they started with. So it's 1 25/100 kilograms.